Hello, I'm Trevor Emdon, International Success Coach, and I'm going to tell you how to quit your job. 3 reasons why you can quit your job without going broke, without worrying about how to pay the bills. In fact, I'll even show you how to quit your job and make more money than before, and how to do that in very short space of time. But before I dive into that, please like this video, subscribe to my channel. It helps me make more videos, it motivates me, and then it's a win-win situation because I make more videos and you get more information, and we all know that we're in this together. So there's a subscribe button, a little bell. If you click the little bell as well, it notifies you when I make another video. Hey, even better. Right, how to quit your job. So 3 reasons. So first of all, I'm going to tell you something very surprising. And by the way, stay to the end because I'm also going to tell you the real truth about what money is and what it really is. And then you'll see how easy it is to quit your job. Okay? So reason number 1 is your job is not your resource. Let me say that again. Your job is not your resource. You are. You are your greatest resource. Think about it. Whenever you've had any kind of good fortune in your life, whether it was money or whether it was anything else, you made something happen. You took some action. You may say, oh, it was just luck. I won £10 or $10 or whatever on the lottery. Yeah, but you bought the ticket. Or if you were given the ticket, you inspired a friend or whoever to give you a ticket. They cared about you enough to give you a ticket. Whatever it was, you were involved. You make mountains move. You make things happen. You are the resource. I once had a friend who taught me this lesson in a very powerful way. He just lost his job in a very unexpected and unpleasant way, fallen out big time with the boss. Not going to go into details. But he really had no means of making money that I could see. And I happened to be spending a couple of days in his home with him. And that had just happened. And he seemed completely nonplussed. He was very chipper, always was that way. Nice guy, lovely guy. And I said to him eventually, after a couple of days of this, do I have this right? If you don't figure out how to get some customers or how to do something pretty quickly, you're not going to be able to pay the mortgage or any of your bills this month. And he went, yeah. And I said, well, why aren't you scared? This was years ago. Why aren't you scared? Why aren't you chewing your nails? And he said, I've never understood that. I've never understood worrying about money. And I was like, you what? And he said, because look, he said, if the bailiffs turned up right now and took everything away, he said, yeah, that'd be a nuisance. I have no roof over my head, he said. No car outside. I like my little car. Most of the stuff here is just utilitarian, but, you know, my computer I'm going to write books on, and he did. He's a best-selling author now. And my little car, I chose that carefully, his little sports car. But he said, tomorrow when I wake up, I'll still have me. And if I can't figure out a way to put a roof over my head and a meal in my belly by the end of the day, there's something wrong with me. And he's right, because he saw that he is his greatest resource, not the job, right? You are the one that makes things happen. Now, I could talk about that for a long, long time, done whole workshops on that, but get the principle. You are the one that makes things happen. You can always figure out. You have an imagination, you have ideas, you have resourcefulness, you have networks. You can talk to people, you can do things to people. Let's move on to the next one because they'll all come together. Second reason, the law of reciprocity will always work in your favor. Now, what do I mean by that? That's not a law of the universe, but it is a law of human nature. It might be a law of the universe, but it's definitely a law of human nature. In other words, when you do something for someone else, they will want to give back to you. They will want to, right? You do someone a favor, they owe you. You don't have to tell them that. They just know it. And it's not a should. It's, provided you do it nicely, obviously. It's like, oh, they were nice to me. I want to be nice back to them. That's really not hard to understand. So the key is to make other people feel better. Now, in the description below this video, there is a link to a free training. I can't go into it all here, but if that appeals to you, if you like the idea, I'm talking about coaching, okay? If you would like to know more about how to become a coach, there are millions of ways of coaching nowadays, right? There are people who are coaching in all sorts of fields, not just life coaching, not just health and fitness or sports coaching, all sorts of things. There are relationships coaches, there are divorce coaches, there are spiritual coaches, there are all kinds of coaches, right? Go into Google and search for it. You'll see there's all kinds of coaches. Now, it doesn't matter what kind of coaching you'd like to do. If you fancy that as a way of helping other people, click the link in the description below, and it will take you to a free training where I will show you some very, very simple but really not talked about ideas, 5 simple ideas that will enable you to start on the road to becoming a 6-figure-a-year coach within about 10 weeks. And then you can quit your job, right? So click the link in the description below if you'd like to know more about that. So the final reason, I said I'd give you 3 reasons, and I promised you I would tell you where money really comes from, or what money really is. I told you where it comes from you. You're the resource. What it really is. Now we've got, first reason, you are your own greatest resource. Second reason, the law of reciprocity will always work in your favor. People always want to give back to you. What do they want to give back to you? They want to give back gratitude. They want to say thank you. Now, when you go to a show, let's say you go to a concert or a play, to the theater, you see a performance of some kind. What happens at the end? The audience, if the show was good, let's hope it was, applauds. That's a way of a mass of people saying thank you. Can't all stand up and go, well, I suppose we could, but we don't. We don't stand up and go, hey, thank you very much. We don't do that, do we? We applaud to let them know how much we appreciate them. But what else have you probably done? Unless it's, an amateur event or the kids' nativity play at school or whatever. You've bought a ticket. You've paid for the seat. Now, we'll do that with sports events too, right? The big tennis events and Wimbledon final tickets go for, I don't know, a great deal of money, several zeros on the end of the price. Okay, because why do we want to go and see the Wimbledon final or the big football matches or whatever it is, whatever sport you like to follow? Why? Because it entertains us. It makes us feel good. That's reciprocity. So we, the fans, don't mind paying for a ticket because that's a way of saying thank you. And in the same way, when you give out to people in some meaningful way, like possibly coaching, they don't mind giving you some thank you notes in the form of dollar bills or pounds or euros or whatever currency you happen to want to get paid in. Money is thank you notes. That's what it is. And that's why when you give to other people, they want to give back to you. And giving to other people is the easiest thing to do in the world. It's our nature to want to do that. We're actually tribal beings. We want to help each other. We want to support each other, right? And there are ways of doing that. I'm not talking about hard selling. I'm not talking about persuading people and twisting their arm up behind their back when they don't want to do something. I'm talking about ordinary behavior, building relationships in a way that people say, hey, can I pay you for some of that? And that's coaching. Click the link in the description below. It'll take you to a free training. Go and have a look. It's about an hour. And if you just invest, it's free and there's nothing for sale there, right? So I can't say better than that. It's free training. If you can invest 1 hour of your life just to find out how this works, you'll see. There's nothing to buy. It's free training. Go have a look. I'm Trevor Emdon, International Success Coach. Thank you very much for watching. I will see you next time.